If you dig the twisted, admire the outlandish, and are enamored by the unusual, you're in the right place. True crime, the supernatural, the unexplained, now you're speaking our language. If you agree, join us as we dive into the darker side. You know, because it's more fun over here. Welcome to Total Conundrum.
Warning, some listeners may find the following content disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Ha 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 ha.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Total Conundrum. Today we have a special guest. We have Dave from Midwest Spirit Seekers, and we actually met Dave and his wife at Crypticon last year, and now they're going to come on and give you a little rundown of what they do and some of their investigations, and we're just going to have a really fun episode. So are you guys going back to Crypticon again this year?
Yes, we are.
Yay!
We have Saturday for sure that we're going to be a speaker, and then they were talking about Friday as well. So, we're trying to finalize that with them right now. So,
I'm excited. That's how we kind of were at our standing outside of the room before your panel, and that's how we kind of met you guys. I don't know if you've seen the YouTube videos, but we had Jameson Newlander. We met him at Crypticon last year. He's Ellen Frog. We interviewed him just recently and posted an episode on YouTube. And we just recently also had G. Tom Mack that wrote Cry Little Sister. And
I love that song.
I do too. And G. Tom just told us the other day that he may be at Crypticon this year in Minneapolis.
Oh, wow. That would be great.
So we have had this recording scheduled a couple times. We had a couple little conflicts. I had LASIK surgery, and so I thought I would be able to see, and I couldn't the next day. And then we had that tragic shooting of the lawmakers in Minnesota, and you guys live in Brooklyn Park, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it was probably about 3 or 4 miles
from your house.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. I just found out recently that one of our clients was next door to the Hoffman shooting. Yeah. And her husband ran outside in his underwear, and he was the first person on the scene. She was telling me about it, and it was just crazy. And she said that the press has been just interrogating them, and they refuse to be interviewed and stuff, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be on TV for that either.
No, especially because they probably don't know all the story of what happened, and they just, probably don't want to be involved in it. And
right.
Yeah.
Well, and he was still on the loose for a while too, so she didn't want their faces out there. I wouldn't either. Anyway, well, why don't you give us a little shout out to where everybody can find you?
A lot of our posts and everything is on Instagram at Midwest Spirit Seekers. We are also on Facebook. We tried TikTok a little bit. Really haven't done much on there, but our main stuff is through Instagram, where we do a lot of our posts or a lot of our lives that we host. We're hoping for a YouTube channel down the road, one of our main goals that we'd like to do. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of work doing all of the different socials, getting everything out there. And we just recently started doing TikTok. Jeremy handles our YouTube. I kind of do our Instagram, Facebook, and then he does like the Twitter and stuff. We kind of divide and conquer because it's a lot of work.
It is, and Jesse, she's the one that handles all the posts and handles all the social media accounts. So on top of the other finding the places and the locations, she's all the social media guru.
And we got your guys' stickers recently. Very cool stickers. I love them. I should have pulled it out so I could show it, but I don't know where I set it. My desk is kind of a mess right now. We've been so busy with family being in town and work, and we have even been behind on a couple episodes, and we're hoping to start cracking back at it and catch up again. One thing that I had talked to your wife about, I had mentioned that we did a story on Ed Gein, and she was saying that you guys did an investigation with that. And I remember you touching on it at the panel at Crypticon as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, I actually just got chills when you brought up that name. So we had the opportunity to investigate the jail cell at the Historic Society in Wisconsin. I believe it's Wachuma or something like that. I apologize on the name of that. And people had investigated there in the past, but we were the first team to be allowed to be full overnight. So we took the opportunity. Obviously, we knew the name and tried to get as much history as we could heading into town and stuff like that. We did make a couple stops. We stopped at the cemetery, which we were informed people are watching and they'll come after you.
Really?
If you walk through the cemetery, they don't want you to come and look at the names and where the gravestones and stuff like that were. So thankfully, nobody was in there. We are always very respectful and just kind of looked at the areas where it was. We ended up finding out his gravestone is not there anymore. I believe it was stolen, from my understanding.
I think people were taking pieces of it and they finally removed it. And what did John say? That it was at the police station now? Do you remember, Jeremy?
Yeah, it might be. I think I even heard it was out in Washington State or somewhere out there. Somebody had it for a while. So it's around.
Have you met or talked with John from Dairyland Frights yet?
Yes, we did a podcast with him about a year ago, a little over a year and a half ago.
Good. Yeah, because he's from our neck of the woods, Wisconsin. But yeah, we did a crossover with him on Ed Gein and Jeffrey Dahmer.
We had the excitement, obviously, getting in there. And when you walk into that historical society, I mean, you can just feel it in the room right away. They gave us the opportunity to have some trigger items.
Oh, really?
So they do have the knife that he used, and they do have the gun, and they allowed us to use that.
Wow.
So we took full advantage of the situation. We actually did a live Instagram in his cell that night. One of the things that they always suggested was you're not allowed to say his name.
Really?
Yeah, but there was a cardboard cutout of him behind us. So it was, they kind of knew who it was. They had asked us, not to say the name and stuff like that. And we wanted to be respectful of that. So with that live feed, we were tapping into some stuff that was really scary for a while. There was a point where I was holding both trigger options or items and my hands started shaking. On a personal level, I've never felt that much power from holding on to an item or an object or anything like that, where it felt like something was controlling me.
Wow.
And we could hear people on the live saying, "Hey, is Dave okay? Is Dave okay? What's going on with him?"
Yeah. Scary.
Very intense.
It ended up, kind of pointing towards whatever. And that's when we cut the feed and pulled out at that moment, because it was getting too dark and going down a path that we really didn't want to go. We're all up for pushing the envelope a little bit, but that was going too far, too fast.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And you don't want to mess with that kind of evil.
No, and we had the feeling that he was there and some of the stuff that we captured, but also his mom, the influence
Augusta.
Mom hit on, that she had on the situation. She's a very strong-willed person.
Yes. Yeah, if anybody's going to haunt anything, I think it would be Augusta.
Yeah, and that's kind of where, throughout the night, we just felt there was a stronger presence of her than actual Ed in the jail cell, and actually in the whole building, for that matter. Just that energy that she pushed out just felt like it was her, not as much Ed.
Yeah, and it's weird because they don't classify him as a serial killer, but I do, because I do believe that he killed his brother, and that would be 3.
They'll never come out and admit that. I've watched a lot of videos too when we were leading up and even afterwards. It just, every story comes to that he did it, but nobody's going to admit to it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So now, was that Plainfield? Is that where it was?
Yeah, you can drive through that town. I mean, it's going right there anyway, but it was like a ghost town too. And they don't like people snooping around.
Right. And if I remember correctly, it's been a little bit since we did the story. The house and stuff isn't there anymore, right? It's just a few.
No, we actually drove by the lot and we looked around the outside of it, just kind of went under the thing a little bit just to see if we could see anything. And there had been a truck that circled us about 4 times.
Okay.
Watching what we were doing, wonder what we were doing at that point. It was like, all right, let's just get out of here.
All of these looky-loos when he was digging up bodies in the cemetery.
That would have been their families, and they probably just looked the other way. I think there's going to be a Netflix show this fall on Ed Gein.
Oh, really?
But, nobody in that town wanted to admit to it. And I mean, you kind of listen to them in the tapes and stuff that you hear, and people just never thought he could have done that or he was that type of person.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Well, John from Dairyland Frights was saying that he knew somebody that Ed had babysat for, and he was at their house having dinner either that night or the night before he was apprehended. I mean, I couldn't imagine having somebody over as a dinner guest and then finding out the next day the monstrosities that he did.
We were given the opportunity to do a 2-night the following year.
Oh, really?
But then on a funny note, we actually found out we were kicked out and not allowed to come back.
What?
Supposedly, after we had left, the rumor was we woke up the building and they said when they were doing tours of people were getting sick and vomiting and those type of things, and they kind of blamed us for that. And I'm like,
Because you said his name, right, Dave?
okay, if that's
Come
what
on.
you got. Jesse, my wife, she did get sick that night.
Oh, really?
During the investigation where, she felt like she was going to throw up and all that stuff. So they asked us not to come back and they moved on. So
Have you guys ever investigated the Roth House in Watseka, Illinois?
we have not. Most of our investigations right now, we're trying to get out to more in the Midwest. We've done Nebraska and we've done a little bit in Missouri, obviously Iowa. And we've been trying to get to a couple places in Wisconsin, kind of like Minnesota. The places are haunted, but they don't like you coming out to it.
Right. Yeah, we went and stayed there for a weekend and did a little investigating we could. Half of us that were there were into it, and the other half was scared and just wanted to drink and party.
Oh, I don't think they were scared. It was just party mode.
I don't know. I
They're
think there
having a
was a
good
little,
old time.
we had a few little things happen, but we had so much background noise and too many people there. But we got to meet the current owner, John. I had thoroughly researched the whole Mary Roth and Laurency Venom, and it was really fun. He actually has a copy of the letter that Minerva or Nervy, Mary Roth's sister, wrote claiming that everything that they say really truly happened. And so, yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's an Airbnb that you can rent out, and it's very affordable. It's a beautiful place. They have done such a great job of renovating it. So if you ever get a chance, it's definitely worth going out there.
And for us, we kind of like those smaller places. Obviously, there's some big ones out there that we want to make it to someday and hopefully get a chance to. And sometimes we look for those smaller places and to get that word out because, at least personally, I feel there's more to those stories that aren't being told. And
right.
If we can go in and help out those smaller ones or get more information,
right,
let's go for it.
So do you guys just primarily do investigations, or do you go to homes to help?
We do go to homes. And that's really where our team was built. And when we created this back in 2019, we all had our personal reasons on why we like the paranormal. But the main thing is to start doing these things and getting the chance to help people. And that's really what we wanted to do. So over the past year or so, we've been working with this guy down in South Minneapolis at the 3223 Bridgham House, which is going to be a bed and breakfast. And we've been working with them for well over a year. The history just in itself, take out the paranormal part of it that we've captured, is an amazing building. So he's been building that or remodeling it for the past 8 to 10 years since they moved in there, and wants to get a bed and breakfast out of it and create that atmosphere. We were lucky enough to get in touch with him, and we've been in contact for a while. And then we were able to get in there last year, and we're actually going there next week and spending 4 days there to do some investigating and stuff with them. So,
Wow.
Yeah, I love doing stories locally because there's a lot that I know of and a lot that I don't. And I know, have you guys been up to, what was it, Jeremy? Greenfield? Potters?
Oh, in Duluth? Or outside of Duluth? Yeah.
The
Greenfield
Greenfield Cemetery. It's the
unmarked one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we investigated one night. We were sat in there late at night, and your mind just starts playing with you, because even when it was so dark out, there was ruffling through the woods. There was stuff we couldn't, what was that and whatever. But I really wanted to go back there and do a big full investigation of that area, because there's so much that isn't being told, and you can find a little bit about, but to have that big of an area that's unmarked, it has a few little stones in there, but I think they were numbers.
Yeah, just a little circle numbers, and most of them were like covered up, and there was only one or two actual gravestones. And that was And we went up there a couple years ago. I love telling the stories of the paranormal. I love the whole idea of the paranormal, but I've been terrified since I was a child because I grew up in a house that had a lot of issues. And so I've been slowly trying to get more into doing investigations and stuff. So we went up there, we brought some cameras, we brought REM pod, cat balls, and I think Jeremy downloaded an app for kind of like the Oculus.
Spirit talkers.
Yeah. And we went up there twice. And the one time we were up there, I'm trying to remember, we were sitting on that wall because they've kind of got that thing in the center. Yep. And we were sitting on the stone wall, and the cat balls were kind of going off a little bit, and the REM pod was going off, and Jeremy's like, it's got to be the grass blowing or something. I'm like, no, the blades aren't hitting it. And because Jeremy's a very big skeptic, he's never had an experience. And so anyway, he stood up and he was like, I'm so sore from sitting here. And then the Oculus said hurting. And then something else happened that was right on with what it, he had said versus what it had said. But the funniest thing was we had gotten a drone and we were going to try to fly the drone to get some footage. Well, we couldn't fly it because there's that government. What is it? It was
restrictions of where you can fly.
Yeah, but there was like
a youth facility right up.
Yeah, the government youth facility right there. We couldn't fly it because of that. And so I was over videotaping, and I was standing by the one gravestone that actually has like a that metal Potter thing on it.
Yep.
And I was trying to get my camera working, and I was recording myself, and I'm like, the mic's not working. And Jeremy's like, what'd you say? I'm like, the mic's not working. And then all of a sudden in the distance, I hear somebody say mic. And I was like, what the? And this was during the day.
But yeah, they did have road construction down on the road down there. And then there was also a tent in the woods.
Yes, we found a squatter tent in the woods.
Yeah. So, it could have been anything.
But I was like, how coincidental was it that I said my mic's not working, and then all of a sudden from out of nowhere, I hear mic.
Right.
It was funny. The night that we were there, all of a sudden another team showed up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a mutual respect. They were staying on one half of the area, and we were up in the other, but it was like two teams that just took a chance, and they all showed up together. And
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it's
work together a little bit.
No, they kind of wanted to just do their own thing, and we didn't want to overstep. And it was weird to still have two separate teams in that area. For how big it is, it's still small enough that you can kind of hear what they're doing, and they can hear what you're doing. And
it's all open. I mean, literally, it looks like a field unless you really look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up online. They have a map of it, and they have all the grave markers with the names of who they think they're the numbers match or whatever. But the map, it makes it look like it's a lot bigger. It almost looks like it veers off into like an L.
I'm sure it was a lot bigger than what they have blocked off. I'm
Okay.
sure there's a lot more in that woods than we know.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny because it just didn't match the map that they have.
I think that's why we walked down the path originally, because we thought there was another section.
Yeah,
And then we saw that squatter tent and we're like, retreat back to the main area. But yeah, I wasn't comfortable staying there after dark. I mean, we stayed till
you didn't
dusk.
even make it to dark.
Dusk. But if anything happens, it's kind of a little bit of a hike back there through that path. And so
and it's funny that it's, right next to obviously like that senior place, and, the police station is right there as well. And to have that little path there was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it took us a little bit to find it, because all the road construction and stuff that was going on too, and it's unmarked. So, but yeah, I mean, that was a very fun experience. And like I said, we just started dabbling. We got a little bit of equipment, and, we had Jenny from, Minnesota Paranormal. She's part of the Minnesota Taps team as well.
Okay.
We had her on, and we were talking about the Palmer House. Have you guys been to the Palmer House at all?
We were there maybe 3 years ago. There was one of those events with Dave Schrader and Shane and Sarah Lemos. So we were there for 2 nights. It was an interesting building. I think when you have big groups like that, it's kind of hard to investigate.
Yeah.
Because they take everybody in little sections and stuff like that. And, but we stayed an extra night to try to, get some stuff, but it was pretty quiet for us. So
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that they'll go there because things will get ramped up, because the owner doesn't allow like people to bring Ouija boards and stuff like that in. And if somebody does ramp up the energy or whatever, the TAPS team will usually kind of go out there and calm it down.
Okay.
But there are no documented deaths there. And I mean, there's all sorts of rumors of all the things that have happened.
Yeah, because didn't the original Palmer burn down? So that's kind of a newer built one.
Yes.
To my understanding.
Yep. Yeah. But there was rumor that people were in the basement that died, but she had said that they did a full investigation and they could not find any documented deaths.
So far, what's your favorite place to investigate?
Well, I guess it depends on how much action we've had at different locations.
Yeah. What's your most active investigation?
I will say active, and I will say probably most darkest. A couple. We've been to Edinburgh Manor, and I had some amazing things. I don't want to say happen, but they did happen. I went screaming and ripped headphones off my head. The biggest thing where we've had reoccurring things most would have been the Boyd House in Boyd, Minnesota. We had probably investigated there about 7 times. And each time we went, it just kept getting darker and darker and more malevolent and evil. And
so each time, was it overnight or?
Yeah, or we stayed a couple nights. When the team first started, just trying to get out there in places, most investigations we were on were more of a 1 night.
Okay.
But now we're trying to do 2 nights if we can do that as well, to get a full 2 days in there because of the drive to the location and different stuff like that. So
right, the setup and everything. Yeah.
Because if you do 1 night, I mean, it might take you an hour or 2 to set everything up, and then you really don't get that opportunity to investigate very long before you got to break it down and go home. So we try to do 2 nights at most locations.
Okay.
What's your favorite tool? Like ghost hunting equipment or?
Well, I have a couple. Obviously, I'm big with recorders. If we weren't to have any equipment, I'd be happy with a recorder. The one piece of equipment, trying to think of the name. It's like all 5-in-1, the Eddy.
Oh, okay.
So I like that one because, I mean, you literally from the vibration have to hit it and have that recording. So the Eddy is really one that I like to use because you can set it, you can see the temperature dropping or rising. You can see the humidity in the room if that changes and the air pressure. So it kind of like a 5-in-1 tool, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get one.
Do you guys ever do the Estes method?
We do. We've done it. A team, I believe, down in Florida had made these goggles. They call them Delco.
Oh, is that
So
the
they're
red light?
the red ones.
Yep.
And we've used those quite a bit. I probably use them more than most of our team just because I'm the one that does those. Jesse's really good at getting questions and answering the questions and going with the flow. There have been times with that Delco that I've opened myself up too much because it takes away your other senses and uses more, where it's gotten to the point where, again, I probably went too far. We actually did that Delco method like the first or second week in May around Mother's Day. We were at the sleeper mortuary in Iola, Kansas, and we did a live that night, but we did a reenactment of a funeral with the Delco.
Oh, I saw the photos that you posted on that.
And that was insane to watch from the outside watching it and laying on the table and being a part of it. Was having those goggles on was.
Oh, you laid on the table with the goggle? Oh.
Yeah, we did a live funeral service. So we kind of had music playing on it and just like people sitting there, and somebody in the back was asking the questions, and whoever was laying there had the what came out is what we reported. We did get some names that was verified by the owner. So that was really interesting to.
Very cool.
That
we
is
like
really
to, we
cool.
like to, like I said, push the envelope a little bit. We'll try things. After a couple of things have happened, we kind of scale back a little bit just so we're making sure that we're safe.
Right. So what got you into the whole paranormal and investigating? Did you have any experiences when you were younger that really got you interested in it, or?
No, actually, for me personally, I mean, as a kid, I was scared of all that horror movies. I just didn't want to deal with anything. For me, though, but I was always afraid of death.
Me too.
And I had, a couple experiences, unfortunately, as a kid where I felt it was near death. I never thought I was going to make it past 18. I don't know why that was ever in my head as a kid. But so for me, it was learning more about the afterlife and learning what else is after that. And, I didn't know at that time, was it just being alone and not being with family and friends, or was it something else? So for me, it was really getting into learning more about things that happened afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the same. I was always scared.
I think everybody is, because I had that thought too, like, I'm never making it to 21. I think it's just natural.
You've had some things happen at the daycare that we work at, but you try to explain it away, but you've truly never had
no, but I want to.
I know you. Well, then we need to get you out with Dave and their crew.
I know.
So you can have a good experience and understand why I hate people jump scaring me. I hate, it's like when we were staying at the Roth house, everybody fell asleep and my mind was just going. And I'm like, how can everybody be sleeping? And I'm just laying there and I had to literally put my AirPods in and turn my iPad on just so I could turn my mind off of trying to hear something in the house. And I'm like, here's my protector snoring away next to me, and I'm all alone.
But I had a good nap in that place.
You did. We all left, and he took a nap during the day. And we did catch some things that were kind of like, maybe. But he's down in the basement by himself. He has no fear when it comes to that stuff.
You got to have that one person on your team that has no fear, that is willing to just go do anything. That, I'll go stand in here, or I'll go sit with this. You guys can leave the building, type of things.
Yeah, but you need a neutral partner where, she's not going to threaten to leave you and take the truck. Then I'm trapped.
I was listening to some of our old episodes the other day, and I came across one where we were going to a graveyard by our house, and we were on the way to the graveyard, and he's said something about, if you go to the truck, just make sure you unlock it just in case the hook man shows up. And I'm like, what are you doing? Everything is already heightened. And now you're bringing up the hook man. And then he's like, well, at least I didn't say anything about the black-eyed kids. I'm like, too far.
The funny thing about the whole black-eyed kids thing is that was one of the stories that I never heard about until about
really?
a year or two ago, and where Jesse and another team member was talking about it. And I'm like, what black-eyed kids? Where did I miss this? Why didn't I see, these things? And it was like, no, here's the story. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Creepy.
Yeah, it was.
So have you guys ever investigated with like Dave Schrader?
We'll be back after these messages.
Hey, Conundrum crew. Have you ever listened to an episode and thought, wow, I wish I could wear this level of chaos?
Well, now you can. That's right. Total Conundrum officially has merch.
Hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, everything you need to rep your favorite mystery-loving, banter-filled podcast in style.
And the best part? Our signature cute pink brain is front and center, scratching its head just like the rest of us, trying to figure out life's weirdest mysteries.
Honestly, it's the perfect representation of our show. Smart, a little confused, and totally adorable.
Just like me! Yeah!
Sure, Jeremy. Let's go with that.
Anyways, if you want to grab your official Total Conundrum merch, head to bonfire.com/store/total-conundrum and get yourself something spooky, stylish, and absolutely conundrum worthy.
Because nothing solves a mystery quite like retail therapy.
Available now while supplies last.
And back to the show.
No, just with that Palmer thing where, they split everybody up into 3 teams.
Okay.
I don't know how much he investigates like private locations or those type of things as much anymore, but it was a fun event that he did. We met some new people and had a chance to, have somebody talk to us that was a psychic and medium, and, it was interesting.
The last 2 times he hosted it, we were talking about going to it, and we always seem to find something else that we have to do instead.
Yeah.
So we've never made it there yet.
Those events like that, they're fun to do. I think just to get the people in to see the place, and it's not just about the paranormal, the history of the location. That's one of the other things about our team is we're so fascinated with the history of certain places. We're going in full wanting to know the history and wanting to know the backstory.
Yeah, and that's the part I think I love the most is the learning about the property itself. I find that the most interesting.
Yeah, we both love doing that. The deep investigations, the deep research, and
it's part of it. It's not the stuff that gets shown a lot and heard a lot, but that's what we find more fascinating.
Yeah.
The place in the bed and breakfast that we're working at, the history of that place. We have found out, or he had told us the first Minneapolis matron of police, house was given to her as a retirement.
Oh, okay.
So, and just the people who built the house from the 1800s and what they did in that house is just fascinating.
yeah, the whole thing about history fascinates me. And it's funny because I hated history in high school.
That's what a lot of people say. It wasn't their favorite topic or subject and stuff, but now they want to know more about it.
Right. What's your wish list? If you could go and investigate any place, no budget, no nothing, where would you want to go and why?
Well, I always think Waverly's on everybody's list, just in that
Disneyland.
aspect. For me, though, I used to work in the prisons, so getting into a prison, any of them, Eastern State Penitentiary, any of those, I would love to spend a few days at a prison and really get into it. Even Missouri, I heard there's a lot of information and stuff at Missouri State Pen. So for me, I would love to get into it. Yeah.
We need to cover more prisons. I don't even know if we've done a story on a prison yet, have we?
No, and I'm kind of hoping from a personal standpoint, I heard that they might be closing Stillwater Correctional Facility.
Okay.
And I used to work there, so talking with the inmates, I know that place is haunted because they've told me the areas and the rooms and locations. I would love to get in there after if it does close down. And hopefully they can make it a historical thing.
So when you worked there, did you ever experience anything?
No, and I worked in the kitchen, so I ran the kitchen in there and stuff like that. But you still had to go down different areas, and at the time, it never felt being watched or never felt like anything. I mean, I can't say negative because the people in there was whatever, but I never felt that there was any spirits or anything in there at the time.
Yeah, it'd be a fun one to investigate.
Definitely.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to Waverly. I would have to go in with a pretty big.
Well, you have to because it's so
it's a big place, but
yeah, I mean it's like $2,000 to rent it out.
Well, I would need an army of people surrounding me.
You would have.
And I thought I had heard like Missouri State Penitentiary is kind of up there in the price range. But you can have up to like 10 people or 10 plus people or certain things like that. So
right. So that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to work up to being able to do that. I'd like to do some more smaller stuff.
Something that big, you'd need groups anyways to go off in different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a lot of equipment where you're trying to do something that big. I mean, you probably just have to look at a small location and try to focus on that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not about the creeper. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, I want to investigate that place too. That would be a cool one, I think.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that I think everybody just has to go see it.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff. So.
Yeah.
So if you ever had the opportunity, would you go to Doll Island?
Personally, yes.
Yes.
I don't know if my other team members would go to Doll Island, but
I'll go with you, Dave. Let's go.
All right.
Let's
go.
Let's do it.
And it's fascinating now.
Yeah, it is.
To have that many dolls on an island, or the history and the story behind it is again just
amazing.
That history of it.
Yeah,
it's just adds a whole new creep factor to
it. Extreme creepy. Yeah.
Yes. So with the whole touring of, was it Annabelle that's on tour?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever been to Zach's Haunted Museum or the Lorraine and Ed's Museum or anything like that?
We have not. We took a kind of a team/family vacation down to New Orleans a couple years ago. So we were able to, go through some of those areas, and we're hoping to, do that again and try to get into the manors and different stuff like that. But nothing on Zach's museum or Ed and Lorraine's museum.
Okay.
What is that one right on? We went to New Orleans just for a day and did a haunted tour. It was like ghost vampire. Yeah, it was like a little bit of everything. And the tour guide that we had, it was his last night. And he just gave it all and did a really, really great tour and was super informative. But that one, is it the Lalaurie
or something like
that? Lalaurie, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I would step foot into that place.
And those are one of those that, you hear the stories and stuff like that, but you also have heard the other side of it too, that the stories have been made up for so many years that now it's just true. Kind of believe that that's what happened, but we'll never know.
Yeah. No. But Nick Cage bought the place, and what did he try to stay one night there? And he never spent another night there, from what I understand.
I don't know. Does he still own it?
No, he lost it when he had all those issues with the IRS and stuff. Yeah, I don't know who owns it now, but I still don't think it's occupied.
Interesting.
Lalaurie, isn't that it? Lalaurie. Oh no, I cannot.
We'll
remember.
Google it later.
Yeah. But yeah, New Orleans fascinates me. I would love to go back there again. We wanted to do the graveyard tours, and we didn't get a chance to do that.
We did the, what is it, number one or the big one that had, what's her name on there?
Yes, yes.
And they had told us she's probably not at this one. I think she was at another one. Okay. That's where initially she was at. And they said some people felt themselves being choked out during the tour. And I was one of them.
Wow.
I had to leave the tour because it was getting to the point where I was choking so bad, like somebody was grabbing my neck there.
Wow. New Orleans is just, it's like being in another world.
It is.
It's wild.
It was my first time there, and I'm 46 years old, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well, even we did a swamp tour, and the trees and the moss, and I felt like I was in the Little Mermaid movie, It was beautiful. I want to go back there for sure.
Yep.
And very, very haunted. Very haunted.
So are you guys doing any other cons other than Crypticon this year?
Not of yet. We kind of check throughout the year if we're able to do something, or with trying to get into conventions on different stuff like that. We'd like to start doing a couple more if it's available and we're able to do those. But the Crypticon one kind of fell in our lap. We did an event about 2 or 3 years ago at Malvern Manor.
Okay.
To raise funds for type 1 diabetes, because a couple people on our team, including my son, had type 1. So we just kind of did an event there, and that's where we met Juan and his team, and we've been in talks with them, and they wanted to go on investigations with us and stuff like that. When we got asked last year at Crypticon, they wanted to go to Edinburgh Manor. So we're going with them in August.
Wow.
Before. So hopefully we'll have stories for everybody when we do Crypticon.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be exciting.
That is.
We'll come and listen to your panel again.
Oh, for sure. Hey. Are you guys staying there the weekend or just coming for during the day? That? Are you staying there for the weekend or are you just coming for the days you're speaking?
Well, we'll do the speaking. We had asked at the time, we didn't know if we could get a table. We kind of wanted to do a table as well. But I don't know if that's already filled up, so we didn't get the word back on that. So, I mean, we'll be there for a little while before and after to talk to people and stuff like that. So unless we have a table, we're not going to be there all day.
Okay.
But Saturday was guaranteed for sure. They were looking at Friday.
Okay.
Possibly as well. So,
yeah, we booked a hotel room because it's nice to have a place to kind of go back to and take breaks. And because there's a lot of stuff to see and a lot to do. Last year, we bailed out at like 2:00 in the morning on Saturday. We were just tired. The bed was uncomfortable. And you're used to sleeping in a king size bed and then you're sleeping in a queen size. And
and the worst part is we're walking out of the building with all our suitcases and stuff. And all the celebs are sitting in the lobby having a party and having a good time. So we missed out on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe this year.
Yeah. We're definitely planning on staying the whole time this year.
It ain't like we're getting younger, though, So, I mean.
And we live just about like 7 miles from there, so it's not like a huge drive for us to head over there either. So,
yeah, we're up in Zimmerman, so it's a little bit of a further drive for us. So, but this year we didn't get our gold VIP. They were sold out, so we're silver VIP this year.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Basically, the celeb dinner.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do the celeb dinner.
Which is
It was cool, but I mean, if that's all we're missing out on, that's fine. As long as we can
Did you really get a chance to meet a lot of people during the dinner, though? Is everybody just kind of eating?
Everybody was kind of mingling and
they were.
Kind of walking around talking. And so it was actually pretty cool. All the celebs that were there were pretty friendly.
The only ones that were really walking around with an entourage were Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, those guys were too cool for school.
Yeah. Everybody else, we encountered so many people in the elevator throughout the weekend. And when we were actually leaving that night at 2:00 in the morning, Chance,
Corbett?
Yes, I always forget his last name. Chance Corbett and that other guy, now I can't think of his name either. He was in Charmed and...
Yeah,
Michael.
I have his thing on my wall, but
all the things in his background are from Crypticon last year, the autograph posters and stuff. But so Chance Corbett and Michael, I can't think of his last name right now. They were standing on the outside of the elevator waiting to get in, and we rolled our suitcases out, and Chance was like, "Hey guys, great questions at the panel today. You guys taking off?" And, I mean, you get to kind of know them throughout the weekend, and it's cool. It's nice. It was very cool.
I'm a Jason Voorhees guy, so I got my picture taken with Jason. That was my light.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes.
So What's your scariest experience at one of these locations? Any possessions or?
Well, Jesse and I both found out after we did have an attachment to both of us.
Okay.
Where we ended up having to get in touch with the shaman and had it removed. I've had a couple more experiences. I think sometimes because I poked the bear a little bit. There was an incident. We were at Melbourne Manor. I don't know if you guys investigated there yet.
Not yet.
And I was sitting outside of a room and, I was just trying to relax and get myself figured out. And I had said, if somebody's here, here's my hand, come and touch my hand and let me know you're here.
Yeah.
Well, it grabbed my ribs. And we had it on video where I shoot out the chair. That messed me up. After it happened, I went to go sit down a little bit and I was so angry. My emotions were all over the place because I let something like that happen. And then the next day we went out to lunch and I went to go park the car and I walked in and they were at the table and Jessie kind of looked at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And then just tears started pouring down my face and I just couldn't control my emotions. And so we called Josh, who is the owner of Melbourne. And he said, "Well, where are you guys at?" He said, "There's a metaphysical store a little far away. Get them saged, get them cleansed right away." And so that was the first time something like that had ever happened to me. When we were at the Boyd house, what I saw had its arm around Jessie.
Wow.
And I saw like a bald head with pointy ears, long fingernails. And
hell no.
I don't like to say the word demon a lot because, to say something like that, but I know what I saw and it wasn't a spirit. It wasn't a person. It was something else.
Okay.
And then that same weekend, we had an incident where we caught on our recorder on our thing that we're doing that said, "I have him." And I'm like, "Who do you have?" And it said, "I have your son."
What?
And my son doesn't, it's a unique name, but it's not like a Joe or a John or something like that. So when it said his name, I flew down from the attic as fast as I could. And,
was he there?
What's that?
Was he there when that happened?
He was. And the only reason that we had brought him that weekend was the babysitter had backed out. And because he has type 1, we had, kind of keep an eye on his numbers and all that type of stuff. So when it said that, that's where things really went. So a little bit of our team, we love the scientific part. We want to capture the evidence. Yeah. But with those incidents, we've become a little more spiritual, but we try to balance that as best as we can. Now, we do have a team member, Tiffany, who's a psychic medium on our team as well. So we've had a couple experiences that have gone really dark, really fast.
Okay. So in that situation, how long did it take to get rid of the attachment?
Well, we didn't know right away for both of us. We had come home from an investigation and Jessie just wasn't acting like herself.
Okay.
It was completely different. We've been married for almost 20 years and you know somebody by then, or you should.
Yeah.
And she was not. So we actually went to this, at the time in Anoka, it was called White Buffalo.
Okay.
And that's funny where we had met Tiffany. But at the time, she wasn't on the team. She was just working there. And we kind of told our story on what happened. And they had suggested that they did have a shaman there that could help us. So we had scheduled an appointment with him. I think it was like a few days later, a week later. And that morning, Jessie was fighting me. She did not want to go. This attachment did not want her to go to go meet this shaman.
Wow.
We ended up getting there and I was here obviously to support her and stuff like that. And he's like, "Well, you have one too." And I'm like, "Excuse me? What do you mean I have one too?" So we got the stories behind each one a little bit. And once we got through that, it was a whole 180 degrees. Jessie was more happy. She wasn't that person that I had seen the previous 2 weeks.
Right.
And stuff like that. So it was removed, or we feel that it was removed, and how he did it and stuff like that. It just opened up our eyes that there's more to it than just the scientific part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think you need to have that guy on the payroll. Yeah.
We've talked to him a couple times. I know where he works out of now and stuff like that. But working with Tiffany and our team, we learn how to ground ourselves and how to protect ourselves going into these locations now, and just having that awareness and not poking the bear as much anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And setting the boundaries too.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have permission. I know a lot of people will say that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, but you got to mean it too. I mean, you can't just say it to say it.
Right.
It was a good learning experience.
Yeah, I applaud you. I wouldn't be able to ask something to grab my hand or, no, do not touch me.
Definitely don't pull my rib, man.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That hurt.
I think it was really that's how they could get the attention with me. I don't look at it as a negative incident when that happened. It was just like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, obviously, to happen. I mean,
Yeah. Give me a tap on the wall. I understand you're there.
yeah.
Don't pull my rib. I know you talked about a couple places that you had coming up. Do you have any things that you're like super excited about that are coming in the future, or?
We're always excited about the locations, the continuous that we're doing at the Bridgham House. That's just an ongoing thing. We are going to Edinburgh Manor in August. And then in November, we're going to be hosting another diabetes event at Melbourne Manor down in Iowa, which we're going to start selling tickets for that. So that'll be a 2-day event to raise money and awareness for it. And then you can come and investigate with us and just kind of have some fun with that. So we're really starting to get that thing going for that. And hopefully soon we'll have more information on that coming out for people if they're interested in tickets.
When you do get the information together, definitely send us the information and we can help promote it too on our podcast. And Jeremy and I will
maybe come out and do some.
Yeah, maybe we can make it out there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's such a cool building in itself. And even the owners, like, it's like psychological warfare in there. You hear something down one area, you go run down to it, and it was actually somebody messing with you from the other side. And that building will get you twisted easily.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know
tell
much
Tracy that. We won't be able to go.
Like I said, safety in numbers.
I mean, the first time we did that event a couple of years ago, I think we had about 20 people, 20 guests for the event. So
not too bad.
That's a good
No, it's a good event.
Yeah, my husband loves this stuff and he really wants to have something happen. I want something to happen for him.
Yeah, but once I experience something, I'll probably be the first one running out of the building screaming. So, we don't know.
And it's always one of those things also that I can talk about the stories till I'm blue in the face, but until somebody has their own experience,
right? Yeah,
it's a personal story for myself.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. You need to experience it to believe.
Yeah,
somebody had played a trick on us at Malvern where we saw a ball roll across, and this was like the first time we've ever been there, and we were like, we got it. Everybody's running, to see where the ball came from. And when we were running, Jesse got clipped by the door and went tumbling down the hallway.
Oh, no.
Then we found out when we went around the corner, it was a couple of our team members playing a prank on us
And here you thought you got something great.
Yeah, it was like the first place we ever investigated as a team. And, when we were putting the team together, they were like, all right, first time. And we see this ball rolling across the hallway. And we're like, go.
No way. I'd be like super stoked, but then super pissed at the same that it's like, no, that wasn't real.
Oh, yeah, she let them have it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, when I was younger, I lived in Hinckley, Minnesota, where the Great Hinckley Fire happened. And one night when I was driving, there was a really foggy night and I drove into some fog And it was one of those fogs that like your headlights kind of shine back at you. It was so dense. And there was a man walking alongside the road, and he had like a top hat, the tailed coat, and a cane. And I was like, what the heck is this guy doing? Walking out, and he's all decked to the nines. And he turned and looked, and he had no face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was totally dressed in that era of somebody that would be going out to like a fancy dinner or something like that. But yeah, he was faceless, empty, nothing. Like the hat was like just hanging out in the air,
Is there a lot up in the Hinkley area that you guys
There
see?
is quite a bit. I mean, there's a lot of tragedy that happened there with the fire. I mean, people were like boiled in the rivers and the ponds, and there was a lot of people that died on the train. There's a fire museum up there, and there is a mass burial, like a mass grave of unknown people.
Yeah, I've heard other people say that they've experienced a lot of stuff up there too.
Yeah. So that might be a good place for you guys to just kind of check out too.
Yeah.
If you can handle it.
We'll go up there tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We were going to go to the fire museum because I was telling Jeremy about it. I went to school in Mora. So that was like one of our yearly field trips when we were in elementary school. If I remember, it seemed creepy as a kid. It's like an older building, and they've got like the different things set up, and because it's the old train station. But definitely worth checking it out. You'll get a lot of hubbub from the casinos and stuff because the casino's not too far down the road from the cemetery, but definitely worth checking out. But the road that happened to me on, I want to say, basically, if you go down Main Street and head north, it's out there by the holding ponds and stuff. A couple miles out of town is where I had that happen. And it was
Very cool.
Yeah. Very, very scary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, should we wrap this thing up?
We certainly can. We don't want to take too much of your time.
Yeah.
Once again, let us know where everybody can find you.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram's at Midwest Spirit Seekers.
Okay.
And then Midwest Spirit Seekers on our Facebook. We do have a website that we use if people need to contact us, usually through social media. If they want to contact us, is the easiest way to get in touch with us if they need anything or have any questions. And if we can help out in any way, we're going to do that.
All right.
Definitely give them a follow. They post a lot of really cool content, a lot of videos, live videos and stuff when they're out on investigations. And we'll also include your contact information and socials and stuff in the show notes. Sure. Well, thank you, Dave, so much for taking the time to meet with us, and can't wait to see you and your wife at Crypticon.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you guys too. It'd be exciting to see you again.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, take care and have a great day. Thanks again.
All right, Dave. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Total Conundrum. Please make sure to check out our website and blog at totalconundrum.com for news, upcoming events, merch, bloopers, and additional hysteria. You never know what will pop up, so be sure to follow along. If you want to show your support for Total Conundrum and gain access to all of our bonus content, please visit our Patreon page. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links are available in our show notes. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, or stories to share, please email us at contact@totalconundrum.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the love. Keep on creeping on, mother cluckers.